said, "It is also again. Come on, check." Allora sta guardando. Now to be the range was utenda into done. When did you pay last time? It was on Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
Kimauza na zili tatu zokuza ni malamu amena kasisida kwa skuba sijamisila useo tibusa kumwena ni mosu mayo very very crucial the use of phones itamene tukutunzi sana anasu kwa miki akupona phone itamene akutunza kutunza kiwani Yesula la mwanzo yoseka umpata kutukuza wina anga kutuweza ngane mwenda kwa kumpa ndeno ndio sauti njema ya kufahamu masudeti makabisa ndio shule hiyo tizibeba kuti muuse maforo kwa if there is a point you better before what have you added her
You were there for you to do you guys the teachers including the
Kena sana kwa kwanza sasa tatu ni siku mauzo tulimasi kwa hiyo 6 kama magari mpaka then send the message to you issue masani alipo ena amene ya complaining zimafika kwa meeting yule na mpaka na kuomba file paper I'm not file paper kutoka sense masani anashukuru sana kabisa ndio sababu mimi nakutafiti agreement bila kujimwakisha mamati that's the punishment so please msasichosema mamati sio kuti masai yangu fila uone sisi kutumiza assignment kazi wewe so please send your assignment in time on time ngani na hizi kutumiza katika mapanga kwa assignment kuti please try as much as you can to write your assignment as an academic paper. Academic paper, you know the standards of the real, what you require, what is required of you to put on your paper, and how should your paper look like. Kena kama ali sita utumize sana because I don't have my phone. I miss my phone. Nde utumize kwa sana. Okay. Adios me. Okay, today we're going to look was it in this class or the other class of the weekend? I said, you know, I have my two statements. Like, can you read to those phrases?
Youth and development in social work. Youth development in social work.
Just a few, is it seconds or a minute? Now, you should tell me those two phrases, are they the same or different?
They are different. Youth and development is talking about youth separately as well as development separately. Like when the youth, they have to be equipped with the knowledge on how they can develop. While youth development is the development of the youth within themselves. For example, personal development among the young people.
Winner.
The first one is about the relationship between the youth and the government. While the other one, the second one, I think it's about how we can make the youth to be the good social workers they do in this country.
Winner.
Youth and development especially is taken from the youth academy. How they contribute to social work. Well, youth development is usually things about what youth development is all about in social work.
Thank you very much. You what I mean was experience the way how he or she can explain it. Of course, they are not very far from one another because the first one has put it, or you have said it, youth and development is social. They are two entities altogether, but they complement, they support one another. You are looking at the youth. At the same time, you are looking at the development in social. Because if we are going to have a youth also together, because when we are looking at the word development, the main idea behind this development is what?
Change for the data.
Now we have in youth. You are trying, social workers are there to try to sharpen this youth to make him or her to be a responsible citizen. Because your work is to assist such kind of people. There are so many challenges which the youth are encountering or are going through. Now it's your responsibility to assist those people in order for you to make them to be responsible citizens so that they can either develop themselves as well as develop their families or families, etc., etc. Youth development, you are developing youth. who probably has nothing in his head or her head. You want to make him to be a good citizen in the near future. So they're not very far from anyway, I just remember that thing. So I wanted to find out, did I put it across to you or the other class, the weekend class? So that is that. We defined youth. We looked several definitions of a youth when we met. I can't go through them because I don't have my notes here, my phone here. But you can agree with me. The definition of a youth, it wasn't one. It was not one. Did we look at only one definition of a youth? It was several definitions. One, it was according to World Health Organization. According to World Health Organization, what did they say? Who is a youth? Did you take short? According to United Nations, how did the United Nations describe a youth? Someone or a person or an individual from which age to which age? You're looking at your friend, you didn't take the short. No, you're supposed to pick all of them. So if I could say during exams, according to United Nations, who is a youth? You have it. So I'm asking you, United Nations, how do they describe a youth? Rich, this is what you wrote? Yeah. Apart from that one, which definition again did you put it? Apart from the definition given by the United Nations.
Information of rights of child. A person from the age of 0 to 18.
0 to 18. United Nations from what? United Nations from which age to which age?
0 to 18.
0 to 18. United Nations. What? According to which definition?
United Nations.
So rich.
I'm saying as the Convention of
Rights of Children. Yes. So another definition.
African youth child, 15 to 35.
15 to 35. So Malawi are using that. That's all. Another definition, the last one, UNICEF. You didn't take that one. So you can agree with me to say the definition of youth, there are so many definitions, according to the institution, which has put the definition application for you to describe. So after having looked at the definition, today our work will be looking at the characteristics of the youth. We've known who the youth really is, but our main aim today is just a continuation. They are saying youth is often characterized by significant physical. We are looking at the characteristics. Youth is often characterized. We are looking at the characteristics of the youth, which is, first of all, we should look at the physical being of the youth. Physical is visible or invisible? Visible. We can see by our eyes. We'll look at the physicality of someone we call him or her a youth. We'll be in a position to say, indeed, this is a youth. Mundu akwendera no. Is he a youth? What has made you to say he's not a youth? You see. That's physical to see. So physical characteristics apart from physical characteristics, there is cognitive. Thinking capability. When we're talking about cognitive, we're looking at cognitive. Thinking capability. Apart from that one, there is also another characteristic. It's on or along the lines of emotions. So emotional characteristics, his or her emotions, social changes, the way how he or she interacts with different groups. So just to mention a few. Now to go in detail, but before we go in depth, I have with me here the origin of the youth or the background of youth and development. Background of youth and development. What actually triggered this debate of wanting to look critically into the issue of the youth and development before we go deeper into these other things? We should first of all dig more to hear about what triggered this debate of bringing a youth or of linking a youth to development. The topic youth and development was brought simply because there was an idea of wanting to focus. There was an idea of wanting to focus more on the well-being. By the way, what does it mean by the word well-being? Well-being. Well-being. Youth and development in social life. There was a debate. There was a reason behind why this one was brought. And right now I want to ask you and me to listen to the background of youth and development. Chidapangisa. I'm going to start with the second youth and development. Actually, I'm not an issue. Shida bazana cha net yonoze kuyo tuone shida ya cha kuma chwani la shijini amena kuti the field or the area of youth and development was brought to the discussion simply because those people who were debating wanted to focus more on the well-being of young people. At the same time, they wanted to empower. Maybe it could be, if we are talking about development initiative work, which means the youth were being left out in development. They were being neglected. So they were being left out. without knowing that the youth are partners in development. Youth are supposed to be partners in development. Youth are partners in development. They are not supposed to be left out in development. You can agree with me, whilst you are in Form 3, if not Form 4, at secondary school level, there was this subject which is known as social and development studies. The issue of development. If you go back to secondary school level, you will hear that there are 4 types of development. There is social development, economic development, technological development, and the other one, political development. Now, women were not included in development. To the extent whereby they stood up to fight for their rights in as far as development is concerned. The very national gender and development, and so on and so forth. If you go back to those books, you'll find this. So too, youth in development, they forgot that these are partners in development. They are left out. So no wonder here they are saying that in the field of youth and development, this field focuses much on the well-being and empowerment of young people. They are supposed to be empowered in as far as development is concerned. And these are partners. If they are supposed to be involved in development, therefore they are partners. And typically, the age which was suffering a lot was the ages from 10 up to 24. And according to what definition there is in this age, here they're talking about 10 to 24. Typically, age between 10 to 24. So they're saying this age group of 10 to 24 years encompasses a range of issues related to young people's rights. People from these ages, 10 to 24. Those people who are drafting or who brought up this conversation, they looked at the issue of this group's rights. Were they respected or not? So, people's rights, and again, what about their participation in development? They also looked at the issues of participation. These people in the ages of 10 up to 24, were their rights respected? What about participation? Were they allowed to participate? If they are not allowed to be able to participate in any kind of development, therefore, there are some other groups which stood for them to say, no, you're making a mistake. This group also, they are human beings just like anybody else. The fact that they are in the ages of 10 up to 24, to say that they are not supposed to participate in any kind of development, you're making a mistake. So they stood for them and fought for them. So they looked at or into the issues of their rights. Again, the issues of the participation in which areas? So many different areas. Even in the areas of education. Apart from the issues of education, they also looked at the issues of employment. What about health as well? And then overall kind of development. So they stood to say, these people, we need to fight for them. We are supposed to see to it that when it comes to education, these people are involved or they go to school from kindergarten up to university level. What about employment? Again, but I don't know. Today, there are a lot of people who are still clinging to jobs, even though they have reached the age of or ages of 60. Because according to Malawi's age to retire in the government is 60. there are people who are about you can agree with me. And the youth, quite a good number of the youth. I was listening to a report which were said last week. They were saying about 91% of the youth they are unemployed. Just imagine. So a number of the youth which is employed is how much? 9%. My one 9%. That should be one. Nominal wage. Nominal wage. 91%. Unemployed, which is pathetic. So we are looking at the background of the youth and development. Which is the way kind of look at development in social work, which means it's a problem. A lot of these people were being left out in the system. Now some people saw that it was an anomaly. Therefore, they're supposed to stand for them. Now, let us look at the history. Historically, they are saying youth development emerged as a distinct field in the 20th century. They have taken us back to 20th century. Tukutengwa tukwera mkuyu tukupita 20th century. In around 20th century, this is 21st century. 20th century equals current. Equals current 20th century.
90.
Chama 17 cha mpaka 18. Chama. Tumwela za Minnesota. Out historically, tumwela mpaka za Minnesota. In the mid 20th century, when scholars and practitioners recognized at Ambrosio the Alena, the position of organ chief of Sierra they recognized others in Kira, the unique needs and potential of young people. They realized that there is a certain group of people, which is the youth. This group is going through a lot of challenges. Therefore, if they realize that there is a certain group of people which is going through a lot of challenges, how are we going to help them? So we are supposed to stand for them. So these people stood for them. That was during that particular time. Chama 17 or 18. There are some people here concerned about the youth. So the idea gained momentum with the establishment of international organizations such as that consent of the people. United Nations was born in 1940, soon after the Second World War. Second World War ended in 1945. And if I'm not wrong, thereabout, maybe it's not 1948, 1945 away, it's not 1948. United Nations was born. So when United Nations was born, already the problems of these people had already started. 17 chapters, in 1945, ndio mafuko ada ya futi achi ya mata mbili akuja bali na chuki. But that idea of wanting to fight for them continued up until the time when United Nations and some other agencies which were under the United Nations, like UNICEF. UNICEF is known as United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and other organizations or departments in the United Nations. They also stood up and emphasized the importance of investigating in youth for sustainable development. That is, we've heard that the youth, each and every day, are crying. People don't respect their rights. When it comes to education, they don't go to school. What about employment? When it comes to employment, again, there are a lot of challenges. What are we supposed to do? Let us stand for them. Let us be with them. So this emphasis was strongly spoken during the time when United Nations was born, and some agencies like the ones which I've just mentioned here, UNICEF and other groups, they say, let us investigate. What is happening? Let us investigate. So they started investigating. Up until they reached a certain time whereby they understood the importance of involving the youth in development. So they say, okay, now we have reached a time whereby change must come. It's a must. Change must come. In which areas? In social context, the way how people relate to one another. Because there was a certain time whereby only those people with good education, with money, etc., could live separately. They could divide themselves. They could differentiate themselves from those people who did not go to school. And even today, it's much easier. I'm a going to call for wenda mabinti yaka, wenda mabenzi yaka, mabima hapo. Zimachi. So here this one they are saying, it reached a certain time whereby after the investigations were made, they said, okay, now let us bring change. In which area? In the areas of social context, or economic context, and even political context. The main idea of doing this was to provide people, especially young people, with basic education. The main idea was to bring basic education to young people, also to look into the issues of health care, and also vocational skills to support their transition. Because these people, youth, I say, if you can remember, I put point A and point B. There are these 2 points, point A and point B. Youth are in between. A women in between. Youth is here. Here is childhood. Agree with me or disagree? So, our and their own transition. Our Musa, Suti Water, Umolo without what our children, here children, period, they are dependent. They depend on parents. Here, they should be independent. Our independent. They want to be independent or autonomous. Independent or autonomous. Autonomous. After independent. When you are an adult, you are supposed to be independent. You should depend on your own. Not depending on somebody else. When you are a child, you depend on either parents or guardians. So, the youth are on transit. You need to bring change. There are some factors which are causing these youth to be frustrated. Bring change to those factors. In which area? Social area, political area, and even what? Economic area, social, economic, and even political area. You need to involve these youth in those areas. If you don't involve them, they become frustrated. And if they become frustrated, some of them may end up what? If you don't involve them in economic areas, political areas, and so on and so forth, any result you have, tell me. They become thieves, they become murderers, they become prostitutes, they become street kids, which means this is a problem. They can't help. Some of them are mad because they are frustrated. Because they're frustrated. No wonder this social work to discuss the issues of youth and development was born. So overall, the understanding of youth and development has evolved. Youth and development was born in order to reflect changes. Youth and development, talking about in social work, youth and development was born in order to do what? To reflect changes. To look into the changes which you can bring, you as social workers. Because it is not easy. If you have things in my family that are in community, some of them, they are not, some prostitutes, and our street kids are all now. If my issues are not now. You are telling you honestly, whether you like it or not, you have now. Now, this thing, youth and development, very easy. This youth and development evolved, was brought in order to reflect change, or to bring change, to bring changes in these areas. So the focus was on providing. You as social workers, you are there. If you want to meet with these people, you are there to provide what? To provide what? You are there to provide what? Solutions. You are there to provide solutions. What do you want social workers? What do you? Children with you. Our men of Moa, our own and you after the office one, I will in Wiki, Maglan, and a social welfare, district social welfare officer. Makuwa officer kupita nini na mpambano. Mukateni, yakuna mapanga zaidi na kompyuta yangu, mipango ofisi ya leo. Mwichwa. Matibe kutanize. Abulana hapa district yote bwana na social welfare officer. Tutanize. Aja kuwea akuyanga na mkono na matunda yani. Mageni akusinda kwao. Amemakwea imigrant akakuona wewe akuona mayafano ya chani yake. Ndio. So, that's what they're saying. Mafuta ya learning for we are looking at the history of youth and development. The youth and development like Mafuto, which were involved, and then they reached a certain time whereby people voiced out, and the voice which other people, groups of people voiced out was to bring change in social, economic, and political context. So their major focus was to provide young people with basic education. Some of them, they are smoking weed simply because they do not go to school. Family most. mapeto ake tsikana ati you don't go to school achimwene waende kupita ku school kuzisuka mbali maso inu zakali mbali musakwatiwa mapeto ake a girl gets frustrated she ends up into zibwezi kamena mwana at the age of maybe 10, 12 zibwezi zochimana chikira uyo either should be impregnated or at a very tender age. Why she got frustrated? Akule kwa hiyo ile namba sifachi kinani ndachi mwana achikule alazi apitini mwana mwana ile sikana akulenda nikapata ndio vitu wake ndio kwanza sasa that's the problem. So the focus during that particular time was to provide basic education. Again, was to provide health care. Was also to provide vocational skills. Which skills are these? Vocational skills. Which skills are these? Technical colleges. Those are vocational schools which provide vocational skills. Maruso, Oceana, carpentry, engineering, brick, what, and so on and so forth. The idea is to make these people stop from having this dependent syndrome and going to independent or autonomous kind of lifestyle. Because of that will be some of that if you not provide whatever you want, you may end up to be like this. But if you made up your mind, I want to change, you go to independent. Only if you obtain vocational skills. And those things will help you through that transition period. Now we are saying, however, there has been a shift towards a more holistic approach that recognizes the agencies of young people and promotes their active participation in decision-making process that affects their lives. We are looking at the history of youth and development. Why do we want to live? In our talks to youth and development. Nani mavuto sometime back. Mavuto yameta. Now it reached a certain time, whosoever developed this youth and development initiative, the idea was to bring provision or assistance to whosoever is recognized to be a youth. And we've known, according to United Nations, somebody who is recognized to be a youth is someone within the range of 10 to 24 years of age. Now today, youth and development initiatives, their main aim or the major aim is to empower young people. Guidance will be the empowerment of the youth. Because if you empower the youth, they'll stop relying or depending on others, or other people, or parents, or guardians, to empower young people. Why do you think young people are supposed to be empowered? In connection with development. Why do you think young people in connection with development are supposed to be empowered?
They are a major corporation of the entire society.
They
are a major corporation of the entire society.
Yeah, I can take that one. That one was supposed to be discussed here. I was still gave one, I guess I put it here. Large corporation. Demographics. Larger percentage the youth, capital of the population in a country. Chiwewe chikuru cha andu amakani machina. Now, here I posed that question to say, why do you think the youth are supposed to be empowered in as far as development is concerned? They are supposed to be empowered simply because they are agents of change. What? They are agents of what? Youth are agents of change. They are agents of change because their potential, because of their potential as leaders of tomorrow. Inu dziko lotaira chinyamata, dziko limene pambuzi wope. Mwakisamu dziko limene lonse lotaira chinyamata, dziko limene pambuzi wope. Chamu chikeni kumena munene